Welcome to this episode of Anywhere with Kristen. My name is Kristen Herzog, and I'm so glad you're joining me for this episode. Today we are here in the middle of central Portugal at the Grutas de Alvados, and that means the Caves of Alvados. Here we are going to be going underground and seeing Portugal from below the surface. You know, we've seen it from the air, we've seen it from the car, we've taken the bus, we've been on the train, but we have not yet been under the ground. So today we're trying a little bit of a different perspective here in central Portugal. The Alvados Caves were discovered in 1964 by two hunters chasing a fox, and what they found was far more incredible than their quarry. An entire network of limestone chambers and passageways carved by nature over millions of years. Our guide here was patient, knowledgeable, and clearly passionate about caves. As we stepped inside, the temperature dropped, the air grew cooler, and suddenly we were surrounded by thousands of stalactites and stalagmites. The cave stretched for over 350 meters, with chambers connected by walkways and illuminated in just the right way to highlight their natural beauty. One of the most fascinating stories comes from this main cavern. Thousands of years ago, a deer was grazing above the cave when it fell through a natural opening in the ground. What's left is a fossilized deer skull, embedded here for all time. A striking reminder that this underground world has been shaping and preserving history for millennia. Each chamber has its own personality. Some are filled with delicate columns, others with vast ceilings that echo when you speak. It's almost like wandering through a natural underground cathedral. Yeah, I loved the tour, actually. The amount of variety and texture in that cave and the idea that it is an active cave where it's still producing stalactites, stalagmites, it's changing over lots and lots of years. One of the things that really hit me the most was there's a section of the cave that was literally like blown out so that people could walk through it 51 years ago. And I'm 51, and you can see the tiniest little stalactites coming from the ceiling. To think that little size of my thumbnail These little guys, and that is the equivalent to my entire life. And looking at the others, how over hundreds of thousands of years, you have these enormous life-size and bigger formations. It makes you think how small we are, how short we're here on this planet. It's actually quite humbling. That was the thing that struck me the most. After Alvados, we continued our tour to the nearby Grutas de Santo António. This cave was also spectacular. The chambers are huge and the formations are dramatic. But here's my honest part. Our experience wasn't as good because of the guide. He rushed through the tour, barely paused to let us take it in, and honestly, I felt like he was just phoning it in. With a more engaged guide, I think I would have enjoyed San Antonio much more because the cave itself is definitely worth seeing. There were some very unique formations, two of which I was so confused about. One looks like a giant fish made out of rock, and the other one was a jellyfish. So I just confirmed with an English-speaking tour guide that they are indeed just the shapes, not actually, some kind of a fossil. Anyway, what a great day exploring the ancient history of this area. And I can't help but be impressed with the original people who discovered these caves. In the 1950s for this one, Antonio, and up at the other one, the first one, that was in the 1960s. So truly amazing. So we have another mystery we have to solve about the house that we live in. We already know that the man who built our house had so much love for ancient things. There is fossils inside of our coffee table, inside of our picnic table. I noticed today that there's quartz inside of the countertops. It's actually a part of it. This isn't like made in a factory. It's actual real stones that were excavated in this region. But I have in my lobby area a stone pedestal built into the wall, what we originally thought of as a salt pillar. I started to look at the stalactites and the stalagmites down there, and I'm like, this kind of looks like the rock pillar. And I showed it to the guide, a photo of it, and he's like, no, I think that you might have a piece of one of the caves here. And so now my mission is to go home and to look carefully at it. He gave me some tips about what to look for, to double check and make sure that it actually is from the caves. And so I'm very curious. Kiefer and Scott seem to think that it's just like a mineral rock formation, but I am convinced that I have part of the ancient caves sitting in my house and I never knew it. So here it is, guys. This is our very own stalactite, which we never saw that coming. It is indeed from the caves. How wild that this has been sitting in our lobby. It really took an entire visit to the caves that we even recognize this for what it is. So point to the builder and the person who did the interior design for this house we're renting. Whether you're a nature lover, a geology fan, or just looking for a unique experience here in central Portugal, the Grutas de Alvados and the Santo António are definitely worth adding to your list. One left us inspired, The other left us wishing for a better guide, but both gave us a glimpse into the beauty hidden beneath Portugal's hills. Thanks for joining me on this underground adventure. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more hidden gems across Portugal. See you in the next video.